Today we're going to begin by looking at our metric conversions homework sheet, and we're going to go over just some of the word problems and some of the skills we're going to need. So I have my 5th grade FSA mathematics reference sheet that in this metrics gives me my metric conversions. Here I see my information in terms of meters, milliliters, and grams. So just as a reference, again, when I am making conversions, my left side is always my bigger side and my right side is always my smaller side. So if I'm going left to right, I'm going from bigger to small. So best soccer mom, I'd be multiplying. If I'm going right to left, I have silly babies dancing, I would be dividing. Another thing that we talked about is our powers of 10 to help us know how many place values we need to move over, getting 10 times bigger each time. So we count those zeros. 10 times 10 is what gives me 100. So that would be 10 to the power of 2, 10 to the power of 3, power of 3, power of 3, power of 3, and power of 3. Again, be careful to make sure that you are doing the correct operation and that you are moving your decimal in the correct position. So let's go ahead and begin by looking at our first question about Liberty. Liberty is planning a party for her birthday. She needs 6 8/10 liters of punch to serve all of her friends. She already has 280 milliliters of punch for her from her last party. How many more milliliters of punch does Liberty need to purchase? Now, how many more? I know that's telling me to subtract, and the important information I have is that she needs 6 8/10 liters, and she already has 280 milliliters. What I do notice is yes, I'm supposed to subtract, but I cannot subtract unlike units, so I need to convert. I have liters and milliliters, and I notice that my answer is in terms of milliliters, so I'm going to convert my 6 8/10 liters into milliliters. So I'm going to go ahead and start off by writing 6 8/10. And now I'm going to go to my reference sheet and see liters to milliliters. So when I'm looking at my reference sheet, here's liters, and I'm starting at liters and I'm going to milliliters. So I'm starting at the bigger unit and going to the smaller. Again, bigger's on the left. So I'm going from a bigger to a smaller. Best soccer mom, that's telling me I need to multiply. So my number needs to be getting larger since I'm multiplying by a number less than greater than 1. And when I go over here, I see that there are 1,000 milliliters in 1 meter, which means I need to go over 3 place values, again, getting 10 times greater each time, so 10 to the power of 3. So when I take it and I go to the power of 3, 10 times greater, 10 times greater, 10 times greater. You can see that I move my decimal over 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And my decimal is now here. So I'm going to fill in these empty place values with zeros. And now when I look at it cleaned up, I moved my decimal to here. Now since there's nothing represented in my place value after the decimal, I'm going to drop that decimal. And I'm going to put that comma in 1, 2, 3 digits. Now I'm in my thousands period, 6,680. However, that's not my answer, and luckily that's not an answer over here because that could have been a distractor. But I do need to subtract those 280 milliliters from that. Again, I'm not just doing a conversion, but I'm doing those multi-step real-world problems. So I obviously have 0, but I cannot do 0 minus 8. So I'm going to borrow from my hundreds place and regroup that into my tens. So now I have 10 minus 8 gives me 2. 7 minus 2 gives me 5. And just going to take and drop down that 6. I get 6,520 right here. Notice there is a distractor. If you drop that 0, if you didn't convert enough, whatever, there it is.